All right, let's start with this. I watched Hard Knocks last night. Gruden's a TV star, and you can leave TV, but it never leaves you. You had Sam Weish, similarly, big personality. Do the coaches that are big personalities, Chris, can they wear out players quickly?
Anything can wear out players quickly if you're getting beat, right? I mean, it's really easy to be a head coach if you're winning and everything you say is funny and every criticism is taken the right way and there's no problems. But now all of a sudden you're starting to lose and you lose on a consistent basis and the coach isn't funny and his ideas aren't so clever. So, people talk about Bill Belichick and being so hard on the players, but he keeps putting rings on their fingers. So it really just comes down to the bottom line. Players are going to buy in as long as you're winning, as long as you're successful.
We got a couple new relationships in the NFL. Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron's, been fairly public on the audible system he didn't love, joint practices, whatevs. Do you think it works? What is your gut feeling on the new coach and the iconic star quarterback?
Well, I know Matt personally. He was at Notre Dame for a little while, and I think he's a great guy, and I think he'll be able to get along with Aaron Rodgers okay. The issue is that more often than not, Aaron Rodgers is the smartest guy in the room. I mean, this guy blew through the Celebrity Jeopardy, and when we interview him, I don't know how many times you've interviewed him, but you just kind of are blown away. We end up Al will throw out sort of like Sean McVay, some situation in the third quarter of a game 4 years ago, and he'll start going, oh, yeah, well, we opened with the outside zone. We came back to the inside zone. Then we hit the little dig across the thing. And you're just sitting there going, you got to be kidding me. And so there's something to be said, no matter how great a play caller is, you're only guessing, right? I mean, if you're right 25% of the time, that's pretty good for a play caller as far as matching up with whatever the defense was going to do. The quarterback at the line of scrimmage, on the other hand, is going to see the defense and is going to be able to react to it in a way that the play caller can't. So I think ultimately there has to be that trust and that belief between those two people in order for it to work. Matt's not a huge ego guy, so I don't think that's going to be an issue, but we'll see. I wouldn't mind having Aaron Rodgers as my quarterback. And I think people have to keep in mind, it wasn't his best year last year, but we did that opening night game in which he hurt his knee. And it really, I've been studying him because we have Green Bay on opening night. It really was 6 or 7 games later that you really started seeing Aaron Rodgers again.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll do a Patriot game or two. I noticed a couple years ago, I did kind of a deep dive on Tom's stats, and it did look like there was some December decline. I felt Drew Brees at the end of last year. Last 6 games for the Saints, I didn't think they were as vertical. I didn't think they had the pop offensively, certainly not against the Rams. When you watch Brady, and you played for a long time in this league, Chris, do you see little bits and pieces of the decline, or is it just guys like me reaching and trying to draw a conclusion that's not there?
I don't think you get to 40, whatever he is, 1.5, 42 years old, and you don't decline in some way. I mean, Tom Brady used to be able to throw a ball about as far as anybody in the league. Now, there are some guys, the Michael Vicks of the world, that really were off the chart with how far they could throw it. But you go back to 2007, and some of those balls that he threw to Randy Moss would take your breath away. Probably the one I remember most was in the Super Bowl when they were getting beat, and he sort of moved at the end of the game. They're behind, has to take a big shot, moved slightly to his right, and threw one back across the field that a guy made a really nice play on, or it could have been the greatest play in Super Bowl history, and that thing had to go 65, 70 yards in the air. So has he declined? Of course he has. I mean, he's not that age. But if you're declining and winning Super Bowls, that's pretty good, right? And so I think that Howie Long used to say that as your physical elevator starts to go down, your mental elevator starts to go up. And I think that's true for Tom Brady, too. PFF.com,
majority shareholder. I'm a huge fan of that site, PFF.com. I want to go to Baker. I've said this before. I'm not in love with some of the stuff. We don't need to go over it. Baker and I have gone back and forth. I do think he's talented. I do think there's some Drew Brees there. I like the chip on the shoulder. I like most of the NFL quarterbacks got rejected, went to junior college, went to non-traditional powers. I'm not in love with chugging beers as a franchise quarterback, but it is what it is. How does it sit with you watching Baker do Baker?
I've got to admit, I love Baker Mayfield. First of all, we went way out on a limb way before anybody else even thought he was going to be the first overall pick in the draft and said he's the guy. We've been kind of all in. And I played with Boomer Esiason. So believe me, there's nothing that Baker Mayfield's going to throw at me that Boomer Esiason didn't throw at me times 10. Right. There's something about, and I had a college quarterback that was like that too, a guy named John Brantley, who was just so cocky in the huddle and just believed that everything he did was going to work, and there was no way it wasn't going to work. And there's something about the quarterback position that has that sort of swagger, charisma, whatever it is you want to say, that in the darkest of times during football games, when everything hurts and you're getting whipped and nothing's going right, and if that guy still believes, it gives you a chance. Yeah. And I think Baker Mayfield has that in him. I think that when he walks into the huddle, and he could have thrown 4 straight interceptions. One of my favorite Brett Favre games of all time, I think it was the playoffs, maybe against the Rams. He's already thrown 6 interceptions, is my recollection. Maybe I've got the number wrong. Already thrown 6 interceptions. And most quarterbacks at this point they're not going to throw another one no matter what. Brett's back there firing away. They're probably down 3 touchdowns, and he still believes he's going to win the game. And I think that the Baker Mayfields of the world, the John Elways of the world, the Boomer Esiasons of the world, those guys really do mentally give you a chance in the worst of times. And that's really what you want out of your quarterback.
By the way, Browns are on Sunday Night Football, Week 3 at the Rams. We've got a minute left, and you guys have at PFF, you have a preseason NFL draft guide. I do not have it. I have not been sent one, and as majority shareholder, you have the ability to send me a free one, and I want it. So give me a minute. What is in the magazine?
Well, we have about 150 breakdowns on the top college players already at this point in the season before they've ever even started the game. And if you don't have one, I'm sending the guy right outside this door in a car driving from Cincinnati to L.A. to hand deliver it to you because you are the man, brother. I'm just telling you, there's no way you shouldn't have one at this point.
Well, I'm a data guy. I love it. Chris, you're a terrific broadcaster, have a great reputation in our business, and you're welcome anytime here in our Herd studio. Cris Collinsworth, thank you so much, and congrats on PFF.
Thanks, Colin. Good talking to you, buddy.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.